Hey guys, welcome to another Graphic Sauce Media video. Today we're going to talk all about what's in my wedding videography kit. Let's get into the video. So first things first, let's talk about the backpack, and just to be clear, to kind of set up this video, this is not an everyday pack. This is in fact what I carry with me and what I take with me on my wedding shoots. So we're gonna be talking about the backpack, but we're also gonna be talking about what I carry in my roller as well. So we're gonna break that out and look at what I keep in there as well. So this is gonna encompass everything that I take on my wedding shoots the day of wedding. Now it does vary from wedding to wedding. This kit, what I'm about to show you, is what I take with me when it's just me shooting. So first up is the backpack itself. This is the Low Pro BP 250. It's got a whole bunch of different pockets. It's easy to gain access to what you need when you need it. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's start at the top. So the top zipper here, it's kind of sectioned off, so it's got like a half, it's like halved here, and up is this top section, and the bottom section is down here. So we're going to talk about this top part, and this top section opens up real wide. What I use it for is my drone. So this carries my drone, my the actual transmitter, the remote, and an extra battery. So these cases, so I use the Mavic Pro. I've got all the extra cables and things like that tucked away in this little sleeve, as well as extra propellers in there as well. These are Go Scope cases that I'm using that house all this stuff inside of my case. It basically protects the propellers, protects the actual gimbal and everything like that. Along with the drone in this pack, pocket, I also have drone related is I've got a couple ND filters from Newer. These just work out really well just in case there's I'm shooting on like a beach and there's a ton of sunlight, or shooting when there's a lot of snow on the ground, and there's massive reflection and things like that. Also in here I've got a couple cleaning supplies, cleaning pen, some actual lens tissues and things like that, just to make sure everything stays clean while I'm out shooting. So as you can tell, there's tons of room, right? Tons of room. Couple different pockets for pens and things like that, zipper, stuff like that. It's just nice. It has a lot of space. So that's that. Let's go to the second half here real quick. We'll kind of skip over a couple things. The way I use it is just like a full compartment. So I always open it up all the way just so I have access to everything that's in here. The nice thing about this bag is how customizable this is. All these different sections inside the bag are all removable. They all have Velcro straps and things like that that you can kind of tie down just about any way you'd like. This is the default, kind of the way it comes set up, and it works. It works for me. I've tried to change these around a little bit just to kind of give myself a little bit more space where I need it. So let's go through exactly what's in this kit here. First and foremost, the GH5, which we're actually recording on right now. So that will normally sit in this compartment right here. So, and then the lens itself will sit in here. I've got the 12-100 Olympus lens. That will sit in here, right in the center section here. That I use as my main camera. That's what I shoot everything on. Weddings, B-roll, speeches, all the different parts of my wedding. That's my main camera. My second camera is this right here. This is the Nikon D3200. This is the camera that I started out on as my main camera. Now it has kind of taken a back seat to my safety camera and for ceremonies, and then speeches I'll use that to focus steady camera on the actual couple, and then use the GH5 to follow along with whoever's giving the speech, because they tend to move around a little bit more than the couple who are sitting down most times. So that's my backup camera. The lens that I use on that one is a Nikon lens. This is the 24 to 120 zoom lens. It's just a nice focal length. I can set this up at a ceremony far enough back to where it's out of the way, zoomed out enough to where I'm going to capture exactly what I want, safely while I'm catching everything on the GH5. And then what I can do is set up the GH5 on the actual tripod, focused on the bride and groom as the ceremony is starting. They're not really moving a lot, and then I can run over and refocus the Nikon. One of the things in 2020 that's going to happen is this is going to get phased out. We're going to purchase another GH5. That way we can roll into full 4K footage 24/7. That way your whole ceremony, the whole reception, everything is in 4K on the GH5. The other nice thing about that is the coloring and editing process will be so much easier. But this is still a great camera. I enjoy using it, and it's served me well. So switching over to audio, we're actually using our two shotgun mics right now. We've got our Takstar shotgun mics, and those just pretty much live right here. So they'll sit right on top of each other, and this space is basically for them. Those sit on top of both cameras, the Nikon and the GH5, while I'm recording, and they serve me well. Kind of moving along, as another backup, I have couple different Handycams or digital recorders. I've got a Zoom Olympus Zoom H1. This basically will sit in front, the front row, or like behind the podium. If there's a reader or anything like that, this will record what the reader's saying, which is nice. This will also be used during the reception, and it just sits at the head table, kind of capturing the audio from the speeches as a backup. And then these kind of serve the same. These are Olympus. Same thing. They'll just kind of sit wherever and kind of capture the ambient noise. Sometimes I'll set these up in like the front row of the actual ceremony so that they can capture the audio of the actual crowd itself. Very rarely will I use that or will need that, but it's nice to have just in case. And then during the reception itself, these will sit in front of the maid of honor and the best man, capturing them as well as a backup. So those live in that pocket right there. And then my main audio solution, this is probably what I'll use 99% of the time, is I have two Tascam DR10Ls. These are fantastic devices. A little on the pricey side, but worth every penny. Just a little recorder here. They come with a lapel mic right here that plugs in and screws down to the actual device itself. It's got a belt clip here that you can actually clip on yourself or your subject. Couple different recording settings. I'm not going to go through all those. We did a video, and I'll link to that, about talking about the DR10L and the different settings and things like that I use. But a great little recorder. The setup that I usually go for is I'll usually put one on the groom, and then I'll put one on the officiant. They're black microphones, so they don't look real good when you're microphoning a bride. They do make white lapels, so that's an option if you really want to go down that route. There's a couple instances where you would need to mic the bride. Like for instance, if there were two brides, this would not work, on an actual bride's dress, just because the color would stand out way too much, and it would just kind of break the, it would just break the feeling of the day. So, Tascam does sell the lapel mics individually. I believe they're like $65, so they're a little on the pricey side, but it's well worth it if you're gonna be needing that type of functionality. Always better to have options. And as you can tell, I take audio very seriously. We've got another audio solution in the roller case, but backups of backups of backups. I can't stress enough. There's a new video coming out in a week or two where we talk about backups and give specific examples of why backups are good. So make sure you stay tuned, get subscribed, and hit the little notification bell too, so you don't miss that video. It's interesting what we record with the different microphones and then compare them all together and see what happens when you don't have like a lapel mic and you're forced to use like your shotgun mic or the digital recorder that's in the front row or whatever. definitely stay tuned for that video. Looking forward to getting your reaction out of that. So what else do we have in here? We've got our LED light here. This is just a simple LED light. It runs on batteries and things. And like I said, it's nothing special. I will never use this to light up a dance floor because it's not powerful enough. I would really only use this as like a hair light for kind of like those nighttime shots, to kind of light the back of the groom and the bride and groom up as like the sun's setting, or get a dramatic shot. So this will only go really behind the bride and groom when I'm shooting. You can control both the yellow and the white light, which is nice. It's got a battery indicator, which is great. It lasts about 45 minutes when it's on high. Not too shabby. So next we have our battery bank. This is a 26,000, almost 27,000 milliamp battery bank. It's got a digital readout of how much percentage is left on the battery. USB chargers, holds a significant charge so that I can charge my cell phone, I can charge my drone, camera batteries. Most of the time this is only charging camera batteries, which is great. It charges them quick and it's painless. It's got 4 ports on it, so I can charge multiple batteries at a time. So that's the main compartment there. So the front pocket is probably the one that I need access to the most, and that is because it stores all my batteries. So GH5 batteries, I got my Nikon batteries in here as well, and then batteries for the light. The other thing that I will sometimes store here is charging ports for the batteries themselves. So when one's dying, unplug it, plug that in, charge it up, grab a new battery. The other compartment up here, kind of just above that in the upper half here, I got more of the charging ports, drone, power brick, and that's pretty much it that I use. There is this little pouch here. The only time I'll use this is if I'm out shooting and my batteries are running low and I don't have like a charging station set up. I'll take my dead batteries and I will stick them in here, just so I know when I get back to the charging station that I've set up at like the reception or whatever, I know that I can get that set up, pull these out, and immediately get them plugged in and good to go. Okay, so then the last bit here, again, I don't use this very much, but you got this kind of side back pocket here. It opens up and there is room for like a tablet. There's also a slit in here for like a laptop and things like that. The top laptop one goes from top to bottom. It's got this nice padded spot like right here at the top, so you won't have to worry about like something falling on your laptop. Provides it some protection. There's also padding on the back, so between you and the laptop, and then at the bottom there's also some in here. The only thing I really store in here is extra cords, audio cables. So let's get the roller out. Alright, so this right here is our newer, it's our roller bag. Seen better days. We definitely, we use this a lot, and there's a lot of weight in here. I'm not really sure what the weight limit is. You'll have to look it up. We got it on Amazon. I'll leave links to everything in the description below. But it's got 2 compartments. We're going to open up the main one first. It's got 2 heavy-duty zippers. The outside's got a nice sturdy handle. It's got nice rolling wheels on the bottom here with plastic stands to keep it upright. We store this in an upright position in the corner. You probably see it on set all the time. We leave all the stuff in it, so there's a lot of weight in here. There's a lot of weight on these actual legs. Haven't had a problem with the legs breaking while they're standing. We did have an issue, a defective one, where one of the legs broke while we were wheeling it. It was the weirdest thing. Like the plastic just gave out or something. But Newer did a great job. They replaced it free of charge. They paid for shipping and everything like that, which is fantastic. We got a brand new model, not a repaired one or anything like that. So I'm really pleased with how the whole thing went out. So you got 2 zippers that opens up the front half here. So what we have here is a couple different things. We've got some, we've got some light stands. This is our slider. This kind of sits on the top. This is probably, this is a Zeteki slider. Basically you just mount your camera up here and then you mount it to a tripod and you can get some nice rolling shots, smooth rolling shots with this. We don't use this a lot. I probably should. In 2020, this is probably one of my pieces of equipment that I'm going to be breaking out more often. So, so that's the top part of the section. You've got a full zipper mesh section here, 2 different pocket sections. It's divided by this thing here. It comes with this divider, so you can kind of the way the backpack's set up, you can have a lower and an upper half. So this is a nice padded divider. It goes the full length of the actual bag itself, or the full length of the actual box itself. And the whole inside is like this nice felt, cushion that you have going on here. Comes with these dividers. I believe it comes with four or five dividers. You can use any dividers you want, but it comes with these really sturdy ones. And these are nice because when you put that shelf down, you don't have to worry about it bending in. It's sturdy enough to hold, I've got 2 of them set up here that will basically sit on top of the gear that's down in the bottom half, and it'll act as a shelf for that other part. So it's nice. Like I said, it comes with 4 of those. So first off, here's the ball head that I was talking about for our slider. We've got extra handles down here for our tripods and things like that, and monopods. These things I like to keep at the ready. Don't need them all the time, but for certain applications they're good to have. And the nice part about the tripods that we have is they're detachable. We've got first up, we've got our monopod. This is from Manfrotto. This is the Pro X, I believe. It's got 3 fold-out legs that are locking. It's nice because it's freestanding. It's got the same sled mount as our actual tripods, so it's nice to be able to have that interchangeability. Like I said, this kit right here is set up to only house the things for a 1-person shoot. So we've got the monopod, and then we have 2 of our 3-pod tripods here. You can fit 3 of them if you swap them, alternate from top to bottom. So let's go ahead and open up this front case here. Actually, let's do this. So in the front case, let's go ahead and just close this up. We'll just use this as a shelf, right? So in the front case, mentioned we have another audio solution. So this is the Tascam DR44WL. This is kind of our new piece of audio equipment for receptions and toasts and things like that. It's got 2 onboard microphones and then 2 XLR ports on the bottom here for recording. We typically won't use the top microphones. We just plug in XLR directly into the back of a speaker for the DJ, or if they allow us to plug into the actual receiver ports, we'll do it that way. The nice thing about this is, just like the DR10L, this will actually record 2 different audio lengths, so we don't have to worry about, if someone's holding the microphone up here or if someone's holding the microphone down here. Like, we get 2 different audio lengths, so we get one that's a little bit higher for those that hold it like down here at their stomach, and one that's a little bit lower so that people that hold it like right up to their mouth, it's not, peaking. So also in this front pouch, we have a audio cable bag. This has a couple different cables that we use with the 44WL. We've got an XLR to, I think that's a 1/4 inch. We've got a splitter to an XLR. So this is what allows us to record 2 audio recordings from one output on the DJ's soundboard, we plug both of these ends into our recorder and then can adjust each level individually, and that comes from theirs. So then we've also got just a basic extender, male female end. So if we want to attach, most of the time what will end up happening is it will look something like this. We'll plug this into the actual port itself on the bottom of our recorder, and then this will go into like the speaker. And what will end up happening is we'll take the actual recorder itself and we'll Velcro it to their stand, their speaker stand. It keeps it out of the way, it tucks the cables away, so you don't have to worry about the actual cables getting tripped on or moved or anything like that. It keeps their stuff looking nice and neat, and it just works out really well. And then we also have, just in case they don't have like an XLR or like a quarter jack here, we've got just the simple RCA cords. So XLR to RCA, just in case need, and that can just plug into our extension down here as well. So a couple different solutions, kind of combining together what we need, what we have access to get the best possible recording from our TJs. So we've also got some extra power cables for our different battery banks and things like that. And then just in case, like let's say we happen to catch a break and we get an outlet, I've got a quick charge wall mount outlet here for two USB plugs. The other thing that we have, contact lenses, need those. We've got some contact solution. This right here, I highly recommend getting some of these. These are basically a rain sleeve for your camera. So basically, you slide your camera in the bottom part here, and your lens sticks out here, and then you basically pull this tight around your lens, and then you've got this water sealed plastic wrap around your lens. I usually take 2 of these with me on every shoot, especially if they're outside, obviously. They're just nice to have, even if your camera is waterproof, water resistant, this is just that added peace of mind that you don't have to worry about it. The other thing in here that I use, I probably should use this more often. Like maybe that's something that we'll try out in 2020. We'll break this out. This was a product that was recommended by one of my YouTubers that I watch, Matt Johnson. This is a prism, and you might be thinking, like, why do you have a prism? What good could that possibly do? And essentially, the way you use this instrument or tool is you've got your camera, right? You're holding your camera, and you can run this across the lens in front of it, and it creates this really cool kind of effect, blurred out, like double vision. Sometimes it does different things if like you're shooting into the sun or catch the sun a certain way. It makes it interesting for speeches, for dancing, transitions from certain scenes to another scene. It makes portrait shots a little bit more, video friendly. So we all, all the videographers out there, know, when the photographer takes the couple out and they're doing their, still portrait sessions, that, there's only so many still images that you can get on video. This is a great way to kind of like, add a little bit of flair to that still image, and that's a great way to kind of transition from one to the next by, swiping left to right and, bringing over a new image with that swipe. So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with it. It's super inexpensive, like $6 inexpensive. So the only other thing that I haven't shown you, because I'm actually using them right now, is my new lighting panels that we got. And again, it's from Newer. Really like the brand. The stuff that I have from them works out fantastic. Can't say enough. I'll be doing actual review of the lights themselves in a future video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Not to plug too many future videos inside of one video, but that one's coming up sooner rather than later. But so this will actually live inside of here after you put the shelf back in, right? Put this right on top. I've got 2 of these lights, and right now I believe you can only fit one in one of these actual packages, but there's a lot of like extra space in here, so like there's a lot of foam and stuff. So what I would like, ultimately what I would like to do, because they do fold down real flat, is I would like to be able to put both of them in one of these actual bags, and you can see, like, look how much foam that is, and the actual panel itself is like half that size. So I'm wondering, like, if I can get like a thinner plastic or something like that, if I can't possibly squeeze two of them in here, and that way I can fit them both in here. I could still have room for, my tripods and stuff like that. If I've got something really tall, I can fit that alongside here. There's enough room alongside of it. If I need to, you could definitely fit two, in here, but it's going to reduce the amount of space that's at the top, on the top shelf. So it'll require a little bit more packing. But like I said, the nice thing about these lights is they come with the actual carrying case themselves. Like I said, it's well padded. So I haven't really, at this point, I haven't had a chance to actually fit them into the kit itself. They're so new. I actually just got them for this last wedding that I did on New Year's Eve. So they came in right before we left. So we already had the car packed, and they came in right before we left. So they didn't quite make it into the actual kit itself, but they will. They will. We'll find a way. So that's it, guys. Really do appreciate you watching. And if you've made it to this end, I apologize. It was such a long video. But I wanted to start this process. Like, this is gonna be a 3-part process. So like what we just went through is, how do I prepare and what kind of equipment do I use to shoot a wedding? The next video will be something along the lines of like a behind the scenes, or how I shoot a wedding. What kind of setup do I use? What's my intentions and things like that. And the very last section of this whole process will be, how do I edit my wedding? So if you're looking forward to those videos or any of the other ones that I mentioned, again, I apologize for plugging my stuff, but I'm really excited. Like I said, this year is going to bring a lot to the table, and I can't wait to bring you guys along for the ride. If you enjoyed going through my kit, make sure you leave a thumbs up. I'm kind of curious what types of things you guys use. Like I said, these are the types of videos that I love watching. I really enjoy seeing what people use on theirs. So if you have a kit video on your page, feel free to link it below. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. Have a great day, guys, and we will see you in the next one.